One of the Olympic Games' founding sports, modern pentathlon, combines épée fencing, freestyle swimming, show jumping, pistol shooting, and running to find the most complete all-round athlete. The first two World Cup events of the season have seen two different winners, with Great Britain's Jamie Cook topping the podium in the season opener in Sarasota, and Latvia's Ruslan Nakanechny taking his first ever World Cup victory in Cairo. From Egypt, the pentathlon field moved on to Rome, with Kecskemét in Hungary set to host a final qualifier before the World Cup final in Belarus in June. Known as the Eternal City, Rome's long history and iconic architecture make it one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. The city also has a long and illustrious sporting heritage, having hosted the 1960 Summer Olympics and more recently the 2012 Modern Pentathlon World Championships. One man looking forward to competing in his home city was former World Cup winner Riccardo De Luca.
It's an amazing opportunity, competing in front of my family, my relatives, my friend. It's really nice. Then also the venue, the weather. In ITA I feel so much more comfortable, and I'm just looking forward to do my best tomorrow in the semi-final, and I will see you in the final.
Competing at home brings its own set of pressures, and it's a feeling Cairo-born Omar El Jaziri knows only too well after his recent experience at the last World Cup qualifying round.
I was very stressed back home, so I'm looking forward to compete like here in Rome. I love Rome. Had a couple of competitions here, have good results, so I'm excited. We'll see.
One of the big talking points of the weekend was the return to competition after a long break of 2012 Olympic champion David Svoboda.
I was injured. It was a really serious case because it was not easy to discover what's wrong with my legs and my lower back, so that's why it took so long time. But now I'm finally back and almost healthy. Honestly, I was not very confident before this season because I was watching the other athletes and they are really young and strong, and the pentathlon is really still stronger and stronger. Now I'm on approximately 70% of training like before the injury, so if I will be able to train on 100%, then I will be very confident, but I don't know the future, so who knows.
Svoboda's first test would be to qualify through the semi-finals, a big challenge in itself this weekend, with the event drawing the biggest entry of the season so far, with 100 athletes fighting it out for one of the 36 places in the men's individual final. With 8 pieces in play and each fight lasting no more than a minute, the fencing always provides a fast and frenetic start to the competition. After a tough session, the athletes moved on to the swimming pool. Having broken the pentathlon 200-meter freestyle world record in Sarasota, much was expected of American Logan Story, and he didn't disappoint, setting the fastest time of the morning. With just the combined event to come, some of the sport's leading contenders were facing a real struggle to make the cut. Sarasota bronze medalist and 2012 World Cup final winner Ilya Frolov started the first semi-final in 21st place, and with only the top 8 guaranteed to qualify, he had a lot of ground to make up. Frolov now faced a nervous wait to see if he would make it through as a fastest loser, and he wasn't the only top name in trouble. In the second semi-final, home favourite Riccardo De Luca struggled in the shooting, and he also missed out on the top 8. Behind him, Cairo bronze medalist Pavel Tiernov had started down in 20th after a difficult day, and he made little impression on the leaders and missed out on a final place. The day's third and final semi-final saw another surprise, starting down in 20th, Sarasota silver medalist Igor Puchkarevsky. Whilst Olympic champion Svoboda was one of those to qualify within the leading group, Puchkarevsky struggled in the race and was another to miss the cut. After the most challenging semi-finals of the season so far, both Ricardo De Luca and Ilya Frolov just made it through, and they began finals day back on the fencing piste. Despite qualifying well, David Svoboda was finding his return to a World Cup final more challenging, and he would finish the fencing down in 29th place. After more than 2 hours of non-stop competition, there was little to choose between many of the leading athletes, with Ilya Frolov, Omar El Jaziri, Simon Staskovic and Suhai Hang all taking 21 victories. Su's Chinese teammate Han Jiaohao also made a strong start in his first competitive appearance of the season, and he finished the fencing in 5th place overall with 22 victories. Just one win ahead of him and tied for 3rd was Hungary's Robert Kaza. Level with Kaza on points and with 23 wins was 2-time World Cup winner Pavlo Tymoshenko.
I feel good, but a little bit disappointed about last 3 rounds I lost. And without this good moment, but unfortunately I lost. Like, I feel sometimes was excellent, sometimes not so good.
Ahead of the Ukrainian and finishing with 24 victories was the big surprise of the morning, Spain's Alex Herrera Vives.
I'm really happy. And also my coach, so this day it's wonderful by the moment. It's one of my best disciplines, so yeah, I always do a good result, but I didn't expect that because it's my first World Cup final, so it was great,
It may have been Herrera Vives' first ever World Cup final, but the man tied with him at the top of the standings was one of the most experienced pentathletes in the field. Multiple World Cup winner Adam Morosi.
I feel you can do everything, and just it's a flow, so it was amazing. Very good staff, very good judge, so good.
So it's Morosi and Herrera Vives who lead the standings after the first discipline with 244 points. Robert Kaza and Pavlo Tymoshenko are equal 3rd on 238, and the top Italian, Pierpaolo Petroni, rounds out the top 10 with 220. From the fencing arena, the competition moved into the Olympic pool for the first indoor swim of the current World Cup season. A huge crowd had packed into the venue for the morning's first heat, which included local favourite Ricardo De Luca, along with leading duo Pavlo Tymoshenko and Alex Herrera Vives.
And the crowd really going wild for home favourite Ricardo De Luca. They are urging him on to the end, but it's not going to be quite enough. It is Pavlo Tymoshenko who's just going to take the lead. I think he's going to hang on to it, but Ricardo De Luca, a great swim. It goes to Pavlo Tymoshenko of Ukraine. Ricardo De Luca taking 2nd with a strong swim for him.
Heat 5 was expected to be the fastest of the day so far and included Italian Fabio Podigay, Omar El Jaziri and 3rd place Robert Kaza in the lineup.
Jung of Korea and Al Jaziri of Egypt battling it out, but I think up in the top of the picture it is in the lead Robert Kaza of Hungary, who's going to take this heat. 5 metres to go. Actually, it's going to be really close. It just goes to the Hungarian. 2nd goes to Jung of Korea.
That superb swim from Kaza would put him in a strong position in the overall standings, with current leader Adam Morosi still to go in the day's final heat.
Joseph Evans of Great Britain looking like he's still hanging on to the lead. Huang of Korea, the top of the shot. It is Han of China trying to take Joseph Evans, but it goes to the Great British athlete taking heat number 6.
Victory and the fastest time of the day went to Joseph Evans.
I've always been up there in the swim, but this is my first win, so really happy. I had a strong last 50 and came back really well, so it's a good event for me so far.
So confirmation of the swimming times, with Joseph Evans taking 343 points, just ahead of China's Han Jiaohao. The Hungarian duo of Adam Morosi and Robert Kaza finished in 7th and 8th. And that means that Morosi now leads the overall standings with 580 points. After his strong swim, Han is up to second, level on points with Robert Kaza on 573, with Omar El Jaziri in fourth and Pavlo Timoshenko now in fifth on 554. From the swimming pool, the competition moved outside for the rest of the day's action, starting with the fencing bonus round. Designed as a showcase for both spectators and the sport, the bonus round also gives athletes the chance to earn extra points in the competition, with each victory earning 1 point, equal to 1 second in time. Robert Kaza was the big winner at the top of the leaderboard, with victories against Han, Timoshenko and Hereda Vives, leading into the final matchup against his compatriot Adam Morosi.
3.
Those 4 bonus points moved Kaza clear of Han into second place overall, and he's now just 3 points behind overall leader Morosi. From the bonus fencing, the athletes began preparation for the third discipline of the day, the horse riding. For many, the riding poses the biggest challenge of the modern pentathlon. With less than an hour to go before the competition begins, the athletes get their first chance to see the course with their coaches, before they are taken to the stables and introduced for the first time to the horse they're about to ride. Each rider is given just 20 minutes and a maximum of 5 jumps in the warm-up arena to learn as much as they can before it's time to compete. Riders take to the course in reverse order in the standings, and with just the top 5 left to jump, only 3 athletes have managed to clear round, including Poland's Szymon Staskowicz. Ukrainian Pavlo Timoshenko was the first of the top 5 to go, and he was about to hit problems.
Oh, got him really close there and just took that fence with him. You can see he's really fighting with the horse, and another pole. That's 2 poles down for the Ukrainian athlete. He really needs to relax. Looking a bit more relaxed now with just 1 fence left to go. And it's another pole. That's 4 poles down.
Each rider's horse is drawn at random, and Omar El Jaziri was hoping that his mount was easier to ride than its name suggested.
And he's riding Devil Horse.
Good approach to fence 1. He's sitting up nicely to correct the distance for fence number 2. Got in slightly close, but had a strong leg as he's coming around the right hand turn away from the collecting arena. The athletes need to ride strongly into fence 3, which El Jaziri did nicely, and a longer stride off for 4, but it rode well. Now he's gone wide on this corner, but fence 5 stayed put. And that's what counts in pentathlon riding. And now into the triple. Not the straightest entry, and drifted off slightly towards the left, and he just checked to see if the poles had stayed up, and they have. So that's the first 6 fences clear. Into 7, I see over 7, and the double now at 8. Through that, the horse really looking like he's enjoying himself, and a long stride off to fence number 9, which rode smoothly, and another sharp corner as he comes back around into 10. Just rode that 2 flat, took the pole down at fence 10. He's a sit up into 11. 1 fence left to go, and it stays up.
Just 1 fence down for El Jaziri would put him in a strong position overall, with just the top 3 left to jump. First up was one of the surprise performers of the day, 21-year-old Han Jiahao.
Now, I'm not quite sure how he got through that triple, but he did, and there's no points in pentathlon for style, so still going well. It's just lacking that energy and that forward motion, but if he can get through the double, he has, and there's just a few single fences left to go, and oh my gosh, I don't know how he got over fence number 9. That really looked uncomfortable, but he's still somehow moving forwards, and he just needs that bit more impulsion. But a novice rider, he's doing a good job. 2 fences left, and it's just the upright. Fence 12, and he clears it.
Just 5 time penalties and a clear round for Han meant the pressure was on the vastly more experienced Robert Kaza, and he was clear going into fence 5.
And And that fence 5 has gone again. A lot of riders having that pole down as they come off the corner. But it's set up nicely for 6, the triple. Rattled the last rail and it stayed. As Robert Kaza comes around to fence 7 again, away from the collecting ring, and just got in close. Horse didn't have a chance to pick his feet up for that fence. And oh my gosh, he got his stride completely wrong into 8.
In all, Kaza had 4 fences down plus time penalties. Could fellow Hungarian Adam Marosi fare better?
And off this corner, it's very important. The line into fence 5, and Adam not quite getting that right, taking the pole with him as he set up properly for the triple. Horse arguing a little bit, and the middle rail went down. He just needs to relax as he comes around on the right rein into 7, away from the collecting ring. I need to ride strongly at this point, and he certainly did that. He's just arguing a little bit. The horse not wanting to go completely straight into the fences. Adam's riding very strongly, maybe a little bit too much, and the horse just putting his head up slightly, going into the fence. 3 left. It's that sharp right-hand corner into 10, and he met that on a very nice stride. And rode on a little bit too much. He just let the horse go into 11 and 12. That will be a frustrating end to his round.
So, after a difficult ride for many of the leading contenders, it's Great Britain's Thomas Tulis, Simon Staskovic and Dennis Bauscher from America who are the only 3 riders to go clear within the time limit and take the maximum 300 points. Just 5 time penalties for Han Jiao made him the best of the leading contenders. And in the overall standings, it's Han who now leads with 869 points. Adam Marosi will start the final combined event 17 seconds behind, with Omar El Jaziri just 1 second further back in 3rd. Robert Kaza drops to 6th, with Pavlo Tymoshenko rounding out the top 10, starting 43 seconds behind leader Han.
I'm happy with my performance so far, but the competition hasn't finished yet. I hope I can keep up and improve in the final event and finish with a good result.
The combined race is held over 4 laps of an 800-metre running course that includes both track and grass infield sections, with the athletes having to hit 5 targets in the shooting before they can continue onto their next lap.
Han setting off first, number 1 on his vest, as he starts the combined event into the shooting range. A 17-second lead, which is huge in the men's competition. You don't see that very often, but such a strong swimmer. It's going to be interesting if he can convert that to his combined and his running. He had a strong semi-final, and he's off to a good start on the shooting. 3 out of his first 3 shots, but now onto the range next to him, Marosi of Hungary and Al Jaziri of Egypt. Not great shooting. Han struggling to get his final shot off. Marosi only just got 1 shot on the target, but Han clear now, and he's out onto the 800-metre loop, leaving the rest of them struggling on the shooting range. As Han of China onto the 800-metre run. Marosi not having a good shoot. Al Jaziri out in 2nd, and there goes Robert Kaza, moved up from 6th to 3rd. And now Marosi having a nightmare shoot. He's dropped down from 2nd. He's got a lot of catching up to do, but Han out in the lead, holding on to that, running not his strongest part. He's going to need some good shooting to hold off the stronger runners later on in the competition. This is the first lap of the 4 sets of 800 metres. He's onto the grass now, coming back towards the shooting range, and you can just see Robert Kaza of Hungary in 2nd, but Marosi moved back up to bronze medal position after his bad first shoot. Al Jaziri of Egypt hanging on to 4th at this early stage in the combined event, but it is Hungary at 2nd and 3rd. And here our leader Han of China coming into his 2nd shoot, and a good first shot for the Chinese athlete. He's got a lot of time ahead of his rivals at the moment, not even joining him on the range, but here they come. It is Hungary 2nd and 3rd, Egypt in 4th, and Han needs to hold his nerve. He's got that final shot he needs to get off. He struggled last time. He's struggling again on that final shot, but it's good, and Han off the range onto his 2nd run. Is Marosi going to have a better shoot the 2nd time round? It's not looking great so far. Al Jaziri having a better shoot there with number 3 on his back, but Robert Kaza of Hungary out in 2nd, Al Jaziri in 3rd, but Tymoshenko moved up from 10th into 4th at the moment. Marosi out in 5th, and there's Petroni of Italy, who's moved from 12th up to the top 6. Han looking like he's hurting already. The grimace on his face as he's at the top of the track. It is part track, part grass, this course. So quite a fast running course. Really advantaged the strong runners. And Robert Kaza, one of them, of Hungary, in 2nd place. Al Jazeeri hanging on in 3rd. A good combine for him so far at this stage. And there's Timoshenko having a strong competition. And Morosi making up the distance he lost on the shooting range with a strong run effort. And Timoshenko moving into the silver medal position. Morosi staying on his shoulders as they try and catch up the lead that Han has as he comes onto the grass for the 3rd time. This shoot could be crucial. It's often the 3rd shoot when the athletes are getting really fatigued and the pressure is on. So he's going to be seeing how close behind the competitors are as they come around that loop. Is Timoshenko in 3rd, Morosi back into 2nd place, and Petroni 12 on his vest in 4th, Kaza in 5th. As they come into this 3rd of the 4 shoots. And needs to keep his nerve now. He's had 2 good shoots so far and managed to keep some of that advantage he had at the beginning. 2 shots out of 5. He's got 3 out of 5 now, but just watch Timoshenko. He's got a strong combined in him quite often, and it's going to be, yes, and he is actually out in 1st, so Han not having a good shoot, but it is Timoshenko who moves up to 1st. Al Jazeeri out, Petroni hot on his shoulders, but in the lead and opened up a comfortable margin now. It is Timoshenko, and a strong runner he is, but there's Han, a nightmare shoot for him. He's really dropped out of the medal contention. He's going to be hoping to stay top 10, but it looks like Timoshenko, and it looks like his teammate has come up to silver medal position. So it is Timoshenko 1st, Mishenko of Ukraine in 2nd, Petroni there with number 12 on his vest, moved up to 3rd. So it really is, the top 3 are athletes who started top 10 and beyond. So really a lot has changed on that 3rd shoot. And Timoshenko looking comfortable, strong and comfortable as they come down the back straight. There's Al Jazeeri, number 3 in his vest, struggling a little bit this later stage of the race. This is coming into their final shoot, and this will be vital to see what happens in the standings. Timoshenko, we know, is a very good runner if he can hold his nerve, but now the Hungarian athletes joining them on the range. Timoshenko having a good shoot. You can't quite see him, but I can see his target. Just 1 shot left that he needs, and he's got it. It is Pavlo Timoshenko of Ukraine leaving the range in the lead, and I think he's going to be hard to beat. But Petroni of Italy, wow, he's just had a good shoot. He's moved, hanging on to 2nd, and it's going to come down to this final run now. There's Mishenko, who had lost quite a lot on that final shoot. Morosi looking to get back in contention. Petroni in the silver medal position. Robert Kaza chasing him down in bronze, but out in the lead, stretching the lead, looking really fast on the track. It is Pavlo Timoshenko, but Robert Kaza now just taken Petroni. Robert Kaza of Hungary into the silver medal position. I can see Petroni trying to hang on to the heels of Kaza. I don't think he quite can. Pavlo Timoshenko having a look over his shoulder. I don't think he needs to at this stage. He's just got 100 meters between him and the winning post. Still checking, he's hurting, but he has got this wrapped up. It's going to be gold medal. The title of World Cup number 3 goes to Pavlo Timoshenko of Ukraine. A strong combined, moving from 10th to 1st, but it really is a sprint for the silver and the bronze. Robert Kaza of Hungary hanging on, and Petroni holding off Adam Morosi, who has to settle for 4th.
After a thrilling race, it's Pavlo Timoshenko who takes the gold medal with 1,463 points. In 2nd, after that incredibly close finish, was Hungary's Robert Kaza, just ahead of Italy's Pierpaolo Petroni, who fought his way up from 12th to take the bronze medal and just edge out Adam Morosi, who finished 4th. After being in contention for victory heading into the final shoot, Vladislav Mishenko eventually finished 5th, with Spain's Alex Herrera Vives taking his best ever World Cup result in 9th, and Italy's Riccardo De Luca rounding out the top 10. Almost 2 years to the day since he took his last World Cup title, it's victory for Ukraine's Pavlo Timoshenko.
Feel amazing, feel good. I didn't believe that I can, but I hoped that I can go to 6-3 place. But I won, it's good. It's third victory for me in World Cup. So excellent.
I'm absolutely delighted because Actually, in the running session, I just couldn't follow who's with who and who's the first, who's the fifth, where's my position. And the last lap, I just heard the speaker, Robert third, just behind Pierpaolo. And I knew I'm strong, really strong the last 400 meters. And I just did what I want, made the silver medal.
Perhaps the happiest man on the podium was Rome-born Pierpaolo Petroni.
You can win a medal wherever in the world, wherever, like in the space, even in the moon. It won't be great like here in Rome, in your city where you were born. Actually, it's crazy. A great day for me, like unbelievable.
So it's gold for Pavlo Tymoshenko. Join us again from Kecskemét in Hungary for the final qualifying round of the Modern Pentathlon World Cup.